Okay, you've got a big row.
Yeah, so we're coming up to Yamba.
Yeah, ready for your call.
Okay, and you can see Rockhampton ahead of us there?
I can,
All
yes.
right.
Beautiful.
Charlie Yankee Foxtrot, runway 15, cleared to land.
Cleared to land 15, Charlie Yankee Foxtrot.
We're coming into Rockhampton and we're going to meet a very interesting man, Cameron Parker, who has a very new approach to mustering. Now, I wouldn't know the first thing about mustering 10 or 50 or let alone 2,000 head of cattle. I mean, I've seen how they do it using quads and motorbikes and horses and helicopters. But I'm about to drive into a property. It's on the outskirts of Rockhampton. It's owned by a heli musterer. And what he's doing to round up his cattle is a whole new approach. And I've got a feeling this method is going to catch on. Cameron, beautiful property you got here. How big is it?
Mate, 900 acres here, and we're just 10 minutes out of Rockhampton. It's a great spot.
Beautiful. How many head of cattle have you got?
We got 200 here, we run 200 here, and 30 horses.
Okay.
And other property we've got 2 hours away is about 14,000 acres, and we've got 1,100 up there.
You're a chopper pilot. How long have you had your licence for?
Mate, 16 years, 17 years. The helicopter industry's grown since I started. Probably in the central Queensland area, when I first started, there was only maybe 3 or 4 helicopters. Now there's probably 20 or more mustering helicopters.
Tell me about this heli mustering. This sounds pretty hair-raising to me, to be honest.
It seems to people what we do does look hair-raising. They hear the odd story of people getting killed and what have you.
So you're changing tack now. You're starting to use the drones, aren't you, for mustering? Tell me about that.
We are, Pete. We went into the drones for 12 months now, and we're just looking at them for a cheaper option. And helicopters are getting very expensive to run. With the drone, the first time the cattle see it, they don't work with it very well at all.
Okay.
It'll fly up to them and then they'll just scatter. Because I get a
freaks them out.
And you think that you'll be able to fly around and block them, but you can't. So it's something that when we introduce the drone to the cattle, we put them in a holding paddock, what we call, or a big arena.
Okay.
And we teach the cattle to block up with it, stop with it, same as what people have done with horses and motorbikes for years.
How does it actually work, So you've got the drone up, there's all your cattle. What's the approach to make this work effectively?
So what we're doing with this is exactly what we do with the helicopters. It's an assessment all the time of where they're mentally at.
Yeah.
And it's the same as people.
Exactly.
Where are you at mentally and physically?
Yeah.
So okay, they can hear it, they got to make a decision. It's just like your mind. Their mind, they've heard it, one of their senses. So see how they're trying to find what the release is. So they're running into pressure. See, they've run into their own pressure. Okay, now they've found it, it's there. What have we got to do? We've got to move this way. We've got to move this way. Oh, right, eh?
So that almost, as soon as they hear that, they're looking to you.
Yeah. Because I've trained them to do that. So we're developing that thinking frame of mind all the time. There's no threat. So you can take these cattle anywhere. Anywhere.
That's why it's so effective, that, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd shift my cattle with a drone and work my cattle with a drone. And that helps us when we move them up to our other property because they get mustered with helicopters up there, and the drones are getting them used to the helicopter, so to speak. But I think as we go along, Pete, the technology is going to get that so good with these drones that I think a lot of people are going to be using them for mustering. The battery life lasting longer, everything's getting more and more advanced. They've got GPSs in them that will plot a course to go and check waters for people, checking fences, mustering cattle.
Do you see a problem with people using drones who don't know how to use them?
Just because you're private and out on a property and you're not going to be, doing commercial work, doesn't mean to say it's not dangerous.
No.
There's a lot of people getting them, there's a lot of people flying them. It's okay for me because I'm a helicopter pilot, so I know the seriousness of the drones. So I don't fly them high, and doesn't matter if you're here or you're out west somewhere. There's still helicopters and planes going through, and I mean the drones I've got can go 2 kilometres away, so that's 2 kilometres high. People that buy drones need to have training, and I mean it doesn't matter whether you're around Rockhampton or you're way out west somewhere. there's always aircraft passing through.
You're also a bit of a croc wrangler on that thing, aren't you, sometimes?
Now we see crocs along the river here, Pete, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, they're 40 metres long.
I'll be 50 metres next year. Thanks heaps, Cameron. Appreciate your time, mate.
No worries, Pete.
What an outstanding character Cameron is. His discussion about cattle behaviour and human behaviour and how similar they are and how that helps him muster cattle well, that was all left field for me, that's for sure, but I've learned a lot. I'm not going to forget today for a long time, that is for sure. What do you reckon about the drones? You reckon they're going to catch on? I think there's a pretty good chance, actually.